how's it going? It's James here from goodguitarist.com, and in today's lesson, I'm going to show you how to play All I Have to Do Is Dream by the Everly Brothers. And I've already made a tutorial for this where we do it with easy chords and we use a capo at the 4th fret. In this version, no capo, we're going to be playing it just like they would on the recording, using some bar chords mixed in with regular open chords. So it's a little bit more intermediate, you know. If you're not comfortable with bar chords, this one might be a little too difficult for you. So I recommend checking out the easier way to play it, which is totally legit. It's not like I just made up some fake, easy way to play it. And if you do feel like you are ready to progress past the basic chords and get started with bar chords, I do have a course, Bar Chords Made Easy, that's designed to bridge the gap between, somebody who can just kind of play their open chords all the way to being able to competently play bar chords all the way up and down the neck, and it really bridges the gap. It's not just like jump in and hope it works out, it like kind of step by step takes you there. So check out the free trial for that. I'll put a link down below if you're interested in it. Otherwise, we're gonna get started with the chord shapes. Our first one is E. Good old E chord, not too bad. Then we're gonna go to C sharp minor. So this chord shape is based off of the A minor shape. And then if we made the A minor shape with these 3 fingers, if we save our index, and we just go 1, 2, 3, 4, then we put our index down on the 4th fret. That's where we get the C sharp minor chord, because this note right here, that's C sharp, and then we're adding this little shape to make it a C sharp minor. And now a tip for the tip of your finger. If it touches the low string, it'll mute it, and you can just strum all the strings, so just try that. When you put your first finger down, try just nudging it up a little so that the tip touches the lowest string. Then we have an A chord. Pretty simple. And then a B chord. And this B shape is based off of the A chord. If we played it with this finger, and then we just went up, 1, 2, and we put our first finger down on this is the note B right here, gives us a B chord. And once again, the tip of my finger is just under this string, lightly touching it, so that it's muted. That's our main chord progression. E, C sharp minor, A, B. So if that's a little shaky, I recommend just practicing the switches a whole bunch of times, getting used to it, starting to build up that muscle memory. And then we're gonna play it using downstrokes only, counting out the chords, just so we do them all the right number of times. We're just gonna play through that progression a few times, starting off on E, nice and slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. Dream, 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 dream. Switch chords. I really try to switch them on beat 1. And here is why. When you add the strumming pattern, you gotta be decent with switching your chords. Cool, so that's our main chord progression. We're gonna be using it a lot. It's like 90% of the song. Let's add a strumming pattern to it now. The strumming pattern that we're gonna use goes like this. And you'll notice that I played that strumming pattern and I had to switch chords halfway through it. So we're gonna be splitting this strumming pattern over a couple chords. We're starting off on our first chord shape and we're gonna go root, down, up. And root just means to aim for the low end of the chord, the thicker strings in that chord. So on E, those are the thickest strings, Root, down, up. Super duper simple. With counting 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and. Then we quickly switch to our next chord shape and we go root, up, down, up. So on C sharp minor, our root is right here. And that's why we're muting this low string, because we can kind of just aim for the same zone. You know, whether we're playing E or C sharp minor, our strumming arm is going to be doing the same motion in the same area. And it really simplifies it and it evens out your feel. You know, I'm not just doing that to make it easier for you. This is how I would play it, because it just is so much easier to keep a steady time and a steady feel when your motions are consistent. Anyways, on that one, we're going root, up, down, up. So for that root, I kind of just dig in, and then my pick launches past all the strings, and then I can go up, down, up. Root, up, down, up. So work out each of those halves. Root, down, up. Then we switch. Root, up, down, up. And then I want you to try it as you switch chords. And this is super quick, you know, and that's why this is the intermediate level one, right? It is gonna have some challenges in it. But one thing I want you to really make sure you do is don't interrupt your strumming pattern. Even if your C sharp minor chord is late, it doesn't matter, you know, just go for it and it'll sound better. And eventually the chords will clean up and then you'll be playing the thing just like you want to, right? So here's what I mean. Don't do this. Root, down, up. You know, don't just cut straight through. You know, because if you're singing the song, it's really weird if it's like dream, 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 dream. You know, instead of dream. Even though the chords are wrong, I can still go through with the song. And you want to get used to that. It's a really bad habit to pause all the time so that you can get everything perfect. You know, just get through it, 70% correct, but at least it's smooth and at least the song can keep going. Anyways, once you have this relatively together, you know, 75% of the way there, we can play through it with the strumming pattern through the whole progression a few times just for some practice. 1, 2, 3, 4. So once we have that part together, we can move on and learn the transition that gets us into the next section. So we would play that progression that we just played 9 times. And by the way, I don't recommend keeping track of it by like counting it out 9 times. I recommend using the words to the song to help you keep track of where you are. Anyways, we do it 9 times and then we're ready to go to the transition. Dream, dream. And for this part, it's just the E chord and the A chord. We go E with the first half of our pattern, then we switch to A for the second half of our pattern. Then we just strum E once, and we go O, O, 2, 2, 4, 4. So. And it might help if we count that part out. It's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So on beat 1, downstroke on the E chord, and then 2 and 3 and 4 and. And for those frets, I'm just playing open, then the second fret, and I use my middle finger for that because when I'm on the E chord, it's really easy to just, you know, pop around my middle finger right there, and then my pinky for the 4th fret. O, O, 2, 2, 4, 4. And then we land on an A chord. And that's the start of the next section. You know, I can make you mine, da 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 da. Anyways, let's just work on that transition a couple times. Just a couple times in a row just to work it out. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Dream, dream, dream. All right, so all we have left now is the B section. And for this part, it's a little bit different because we're not gonna have to split our strumming pattern all the time. We're gonna be able to play the whole thing over one chord, you know, and there are a few places where we have to split it. We're gonna need a few new chord shapes. There's a G sharp minor. And for that one, it's based off of E minor. So we play our E minor with these two fingers and we just kind of drag it up till our first finger is at the 4th fret. These two fingers are on the 6th fret. You know, if you were to think about it by what frets you're playing, it's 4, 6, 6, 4, 4, 4. And then we have F sharp minor, which is the same shape, but our first finger is at the 2nd fret now. Then we have F sharp 7. And for this one, it's just the E7 chord, but with these two fingers. Go up 2 times, first finger down. Another way to look at it is 2, 4, 2, 3, 2, 2. And then we have a B7 chord. And that's, you know, lucky us. We don't have to do any more bar chords. There we go. Now in this section, there's one E chord. And for that part, you can do it with the strumming pattern. Or we can do that little... It's totally up to you. I'm gonna just... Since we already learned it for the transition, we might as well use it in this part too. I think it sounds really cool. And since we have quite a few new chord shapes, let's go back to downstrokes only. We'll add the strumming pattern later. Let's just do downstrokes only and work our way through these chords. Starting off on the A chord. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Taste your lips of wine. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Cool. So if you have to, you can always rewind and just try that a few times until you can get through it, just like we did. And when you're ready, we can add the strumming pattern and play it nice and slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so those are all the components of the song. All we got to do now is put it all together. So let's do that, starting with the beginning with our first progression, starting on E. 1, 2, 3, 4. Dream, 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 dream. When I want you. Then you just do the whole thing over again. Cool, so that is the intermediate way to play All I Have to Do Is Dream by the Everly Brothers. If you need any help with this stuff, remember I have my premium Barre Chords course. I have a free ebook that helps you with rhythm guitar. I have one for lead guitar. I got a lot of resources there to help you, so check those out down below if you're interested. And if this is just gonna be too much for you, but you still wanna play the song, don't forget I also already made an easy version of this where we put a capo on the 4th fret and it uses much easier chord shapes, easier strumming pattern. It doesn't have as much stuff. So, you can just kind of play through the song. Give that a try if maybe you want to scale up to this eventually. Either way, have a fun time practicing and I'll see you soon.